Howdy doody, everybody, and good morning. We are from the beautiful city of Boca Raton, Florida. My name is Charlie Rodriguez. I am Miami Disco Fever, and I am now the proud promoter of the Saturday night 70s and 80s and 90s dance party at Fusion Cafe in Davie, Florida. That's a hell of a long intro. Sitting to my right is the one and only Joy Dorris from the legendary Lime. She's been up with few hours of sleep. She's got her shades on, and I am so happy to see you here this morning.
Charlie, you're the only person I'd want to see this early in the morning.
Oh Lord, I'm speechless, folks. I have something very important to talk about, and you're not prepared, and I'm going to take you off guard right now. I am tired of people talking about phony this and phony that.
Really?
There is nothing phony about you. You are the real deal, and the people need to know why you are the real deal. Please share with the folks out there in the rest of the world why you are the real deal.
Okay, so yes, there's a lot of talk going on out in the industry right now. Who's real, who isn't real, what group is real, who's got the real performers, all this kind of stuff. Okay. And I understand that, and I understand the frustration on both ends, everybody's viewpoint on that. The problem is that when it comes to Lime, the situation is not so black and white. We're actually a gray area that we have to deal with. Back in the day, when Lime first was born, okay, Lime was the creation of a husband and wife team out of Montreal, Canada, named Dennis and Denise Lepage. Dennis, musical genius. Juilliard graduated, okay? Musical genius. He wrote every song. He charted the songs. He played every instrument. He did his vocals. The rumor was that Dennis and Denise were one person. They weren't. They were a husband and wife team. They have a beautiful daughter now. And they, as their songs, Dennis was writing these wonderful songs with these incredible, crazy, catchy hooks that were chart toppers. And they did a couple of shows in Canada, but they did not want to tour. That was not what they were about. And the record label did not want to tour them either. And I can say that without hesitation because there's a book that came out written by James Arena about a year or so ago called The Legends of Disco. 40 chapters, 40 artists. Bonnie Pointer, there are a bunch of people that are in this book. And I'm a chapter, and so is Dennis. Okay, so the both of us have our stories out there, which was wonderful to be able to do. So when the record label made the decision that they were not going to tour Dennis and Denise, okay, what they did was they set out to find two people who had the same vocal abilities that Dennis and Denise have. Anybody that's ever heard a Lime song knows, you hear that voice, those two voices, they're so recognizable, you know instantaneously who they are. So after a 2-country search, I was chosen to represent Denise, and Chris Marsh was chosen to represent Dennis. And at that point, we became Lime. We became the faces of Lime. We became the voices of Lime. We became the representatives of the brand.
How long have you been a representative of this wonderful brand?
Since, I think it's you know what, if I looked at the poster that's hanging up at home and it says the American debut of Lime, I can tell you the year. It's in the book. I know they verified it in the book. It's way back. I think it was early 80s, but I couldn't tell you exactly when. I think maybe 81, something like that. And we did a show here in America, and then we went and toured all through Europe.
That's 4 decades.
Isn't that horrible, Charlie? Please don't say that to me so early in the morning.
4 decades. You have been the brand of Lime, no other, the original touring group Lime. You are the face.
Yeah.
There is no other replacement.
And when we came into this, we came in with the full blessing of the label, the management, and the artists themselves. I mean, I was sent the lyrics to the songs from the artists. I mean, we became their faces. Interestingly, you know, one of the hoo-ha things that you hear going on with the multi-versions of certain groups that are out there is, oh, you've got one group signing their names over the faces of the other artists that had been in the group at some point. We never did that.
You don't need
From
to.
the get-go, it's always been Chris and I. I mean, people post on Facebook to me all the time, you know, things that we signed in the 80s, you know, for radio stations and DJs down here or just to fans, and they post them up, and they're our signatures over our faces. And we not only became the touring faces, but we always acknowledge Dennis and Denise very freely in interviews. I'm very proud of the history of Lime. It's not anything that I feel should be hidden or not talked about or not acknowledged. That's never been the case with Lime.
I know.
So
I know
you
it's
have
never been the case.
people who turn around and say, "Oh, well, you were not the original vocalist." No, I might not have been sitting in that living room up in Montreal, Canada, for their early songs, but I am very, very much a part.
You cannot get much more
them.
original than you.
No, I've always sang live, and so have my partners, and I know we have had some male partner changes over the course of the years. Chris Marsh, who you reunited me with, as everyone knows, Chris has been ill with Parkinson's, so he is not touring. Benji King was a partner of mine. I toured with Benji forever throughout the United States and Europe, and we lost Benji in a tragic accident about 2 years ago. And Rob Hubert and I have been out together for at least 10 years, 11 years, something like that. Crazy.
No, you guys are touring everywhere. Yeah. You and Rob, when you hit the stage, the girls go crazy, the guys go crazy. It's an incredible show you guys put on.
We're pretty high energy. We're pretty high energy.
So, people, if there's any doubt in your mind who the original performance group Lime is, there is no phonyism here. She is the real deal. And the real deal, I am proud to say, is going to be where?
We're going to be at Fusion Cafe, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to get there.
Broward County.
Really excited.
This is a great opportunity. You haven't been in Broward County. I don't even know if you've been in Broward County.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But to come there, and we've got Louis Martinet there, and I'm who I've recorded solo records with, and I'm so excited I'm just so excited to be part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
This is one hell of a venue. It's all 70s, 80s, and 90s every Saturday night. And when I told the folks that you were coming over, they were so excited. I'm looking forward to packing the house on June the 20th with the one and only Lime.
And I'm just going to add one thing here.
Please do.
And that is that South Florida has always been home for Lime.
They love you down here.
Always.
They love
And
you.
our show, and I say it every time I hit a stage here that we're so happy to be here and to be back with such a true fan base. And somebody said something very interesting. Somebody said that if you're a fan of Lime, then you're a fan of Dennis and Denise's. And yes, absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You are a fan of Dennis and Denise's. But if you've come out and you've seen us, and you've come out multiple times,
which is
always the case when we play down here, we see the same faces, and I don't know, I remember faces, so I know these people who have become my friends and extended family on Facebook, just because they're always talking to me on Facebook, that come out to our shows. Well, then you're fans of the performance too, and that means something.
They're your friends, they're your fans.
Mm-hmm.
They've been following you down in South Florida since the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, the 2010s. We're going to be in the 2020s pretty soon with our walkers still jamming to all your wonderful music. So, friends, come out, support the music of the 80s. Lime in the house, June 20th at Fusion Cafe. Grab the airplane. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
See you then.